Hi everyone and welcome back to some Path of Exile. So it's very early in the morning. I will not have a lot of time today. I was able to play a lot yesterday though. Well, at least in the afternoon and evening and on Friday night. So I got a good amount of playtime in. Now this build has reached 95 right now, and the only thing I've changed or added is this node up here to get 50% increased block recovery and 50% increased ES from our shield. So we are barely under 3000 ES, almost 4.5k life. Feels good, feels really good. Which means I will stay on the cold damage leached as life on the implicit here and not go into exposure, because the life leech actually helps out a ton, right? So I haven't changed up anything else about the build. We are still rocking the nice wand upgrade that we got, and yeah, I mean, we could do more. We could change out the for a new helmet. That is definitely something, right? Get a better base, get the plus AoE gems onto this one, and swap in our auras into this one. And let's have a quick look. Yeah, see, our gems are now 20 pretty much everywhere, which is good. How's our offhand leveling looking? Yeah, kind of decent. Okay, that's cool. And yeah, I'm still super happy with what this build was able to do, and it did more. It did something I was not expecting it to do. So if we, it's gonna spoil the rest of it, but it's fine. So if you look at this one, I've done all of them. However, I want to specifically talk about one of them, right? Later. For this one, it's fine, right? So we did do the formed and the twisted with this one, no problem at all. And the third one I did was the Forgotten, right? Which I am missing rewritten distant memory. I don't think I have a map of that around. No, I don't. Okay. But that's okay, right? I will get back to that at some point anyways, that's fine. However, what we were able to do is actually killing Uber Elder with this build, which I didn't expect it. I thought like the 2.5-ish mil DPS that we are doing is not enough, but it was enough. So yeah, I got all 4 Void Stones now, which is amazing. I have all the favorite map slots unlocked as well, which is great. So yeah, the next challenge for this build was the Maven, which I almost got. I had 2 friends in Discord watching me while doing it, and I got very close. And yeah, I think it's possible with a little bit better gear. It's definitely possible, right? If I went in with like the 5 mil DPS from last league, I think I would have managed to do it. It was just really hard to focus throughout the whole fight, and I do think it is actually possible once you reach this point with the crit reroll, especially like the Militant Faith. This is just so much damage, right? You get like 60% or 70% sometimes more damage out of your build with this jewel, and that's just insane, right? So I'm glad I did buy it early. I'm glad it was only like 2 diff. At the moment, none of these ones are for sale, right? So yeah, awesome, absolutely awesome. And what else is there? There's nothing much more to say about this build. Like, I was thinking again about like maybe getting a cluster jewel or something, but I feel like it's so cool to have a league starter that doesn't need a cluster, although clusters are not that bad anymore, right? I know, I kind of I like them a lot nowadays. I have adjusted to that. Um, it's just, yeah, it's very difficult early on to get them right. So I like to have a build that is planned without the clusters, and I mean it's difficult enough to get the Thread of Hope and the Militant Faith, especially as well early on, and a Watcher side that is decent-ish, right? So I'm happy with how this looks right now. Yeah, as I said, positively surprised that I was able to reach not only level 95, but also like all the things that this build was able to do. It surpassed my expectations and also what I wanted it to be able to do, right? So I'm really glad that the crit reroll solves so much of these problems. And yeah, as I said, I mean, I goofed up, right? I have the wrong base. There are better armor ES bases now, and just going for a bit of a re-gearing process would be amazing. Getting an Aegis Aurora for League start was kind of out of my scope as well. I wouldn't have expected this. So just, yeah, as I said, overall extremely happy with this. However, the Maven proved to be such a big obstacle again, and I think I'm okay with this build not being able to do it right now with the gear I have. So yeah, I kinda leveled the second character, and yeah. Ye old faithful, right? The good old Ice Spear totem build. it the cluster jewels were really cheap, right? So the tree is pretty much the same, except I went for these 2 points at some point because I really needed the 3% all res at some point. I might respec out of those again. I was only able to find an 11 passive skill large cluster, which is fine. I'm okay with that. We have some all res on here, right? So I wasn't worried too much. This guy has found one of the bloodlines though, which was really fun. So one thing that the self-cast Freezing Pulse Witch struggles with is like the fortresses. It's really hard to deal enough damage if many rares come around. It's very easy to escape though. It's really easy to just tank your way out of that. With this guy here, which, yeah, it's mind over matter with a little bit of a decent amount of health, a good amount of ES, and not quite the chunk of mana that I would like. So basically, we want 40%, or like, we want a 60-40 split between life and mana, right? I don't calculate the ES into this, but like, that's what you want, right? So, yeah, I didn't quite get there, which is fine. And we will do a Cortex with this, because that is one of the bosses I actually do need to witness again. And then we need the Moment of Reverence boss as well to get the new invitation, which is the Feared, the changed Feared, which this build was able to do basically no problems except for survivability, of course. But yeah, the solution to that is this build just deals insane amounts of damage, which is very nice. And yeah, depending on the order that these bosses spawn, it's kind of insane. What I really like though is that Cyrus comes back into the spotlight with this, right? Yeah, Cortex, Eye of the Storm, that is Cyrus. Moment of Reverence, this is one of the bosses from the originator maps from last league, right? So that's really cool. And then, yeah, Shaper and Elder, right? So, yeah, awesome. Now, this guy here is operating on just regular jewels, I think. Yeah, with cluster jewels and then just regular jewels. I do have a couple of corrupted ones in here. This with just increased crit, this with some pen. Nothing out of the ordinary though. No Watcher's Eye so far, nothing like that. And I went for the Corrupted Blood cannot be inflicted on you mastery here. This time around because I don't have a CB jewel right now. But yeah, we can definitely also upgrade this build. I changed it up though. Last time we went for armor evasion bases. This time around I went for evasion ES because I got this chest out of the tree. Like with the Fractured Life roll, which is tier 2. I then just rolled Harvest with, I think it was one of the resistances, right? And I was able to hit triple Ellie res and the tier 1 Chaos res. And I was like, what the? Not triple Ellie res, sorry, double Ellie res and tier 1 Chaos, right? So I was like, what the? Wow, I need to use this, right? And that I dropped this before I decided on this build. And I was like, okay, I will do it. And then you have some murder myths with these guys have triple res and over 100 life, crafted mana on there. We have boots with like 35 move speed and triple Ellie res because we have the good old Annihilating Light stuff, right? So we have reduced Ellie resistances. This is pretty decently rolled with 61% reduced instead of 70. And you have Anathema, which we brought over, right? So yeah. Still, it's really hard to get Chaos Res up as well with this build because, yeah, you need so much Elemental Res. However, it's cool, and we got some cool drops as well, which I want to talk about as well. And so let's start out with that. So we're sitting on 22 diff and like 1,000 chaos, which that's pretty nice. If we take a look at the uniques, I started to collect a couple more of them, and I just pretty much picked up everything. So there's nothing too fancy in here. Enmity's Embrace I've never seen before, so that's cool that that dropped. Like, I might have seen it in a patch note, but I never dropped it, basically, so I was a little bit surprised, which is cool. And what else is there? There was not shield. Was there the helmet? Yeah, the Votus Devotion, which can be a lot of fun, right? Movement speed on the helmet, very interesting. And I think that's it. Oh, Vol's Vision as well, and Will Clash. Yeah, Will Clash was like, oh wait, I have Will Clash. I do have Malakai's Loop. I might, I might go for a third build at some point, but I really, at the moment, I don't have the time and the energy to do so. We did drop the Golden Rule somehow, which was fine. So Reverse Poison could be some Reverse Bleed is like the thing here, right? So that is, I guess you just increase the armor while bleeding, and then you have poison that is reflected to you as well. Energized armor is something I didn't know about, but or like never used, but that's a tool for sure. But other than that, like nothing too fancy, right? Like the usual suspects, and my loot filter is now way too strict to get there. Now this is a chess piece that dropped out of the tree, so this is just triple Eliras with life and mana. Like what? That's why I decided to go for an evasion heavy focus here. We only reach 4,400 though, and even with all the flasks, we don't even reach 10k. However, it feels a little bit better than before, not gonna lie. And yeah, other than that, we managed to drop Paradoxica. That is a unique I have never ever dropped before, which is cool. So that is something new, and yeah, that has 2 stats to unveil. Let's just do this together, because as I said, I've never done this. So, oh, now see, this is difficult for me. Do you want to go for cold? Do you want to go for chaos stuff, or do we just go fizz? I think fizz could be good because you can convert physical, right? Into something else if you want to, and then you have also impale chance. So let's do this, and if that is a mistake, that's fine, right? That's fine by me. Like, I just want to see this. So increased damage per power charge, strength and int, and increased critical strike. I think that could be cool. Yes, let's do that. Okay, that's an interesting thing. So like, that's like 6 diff. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I just double checked, and there's only one other listed. So wow, this could be worth 6 divines. Cool. Let's list it with a price of 6 diffs then. There we go. And yeah, we were trading a little bit, as you can see. A lot of chisels, couple of good divine trades as well. Watcher's Eye for 2 diffs, that was quite nice. A bad one for 50 chaos, that's okay as well. And I think somewhere else the Impulses that has sold for 10 diff, there it is. Yep. And an Awakened elite damage. So yeah, we were eating good so far. Which is very nice, very cool. Alrighty, so then, yeah, so it's basically just evasion energy shield bases here. I might need to go just more evasion and forgo the ES. I just went energy shield and evasion because I did drop this chest, right? And yeah, I even have the implicit of 5% all res here, which is not the best thing to do. We do have exposure on hit and chance to unnerve on hit. On the gloves and on the boots, we just have life regen and fire res, because that was the one thing that was the most difficult to get done. However, let's stop talking. Let's go Maven witness the Cortex fight and see just how this performs, right? It's pretty much per definition a glass cannon. Yes, we are mind over matter, as I said, so 40% of damage is taken from mana before life, which is why I do have not only the instant life flask, but also an instant mana flask as well. So yeah, depending on which enemies are here, that is exactly what I was fearing, right? I also don't know which rolls are on here. Should we check the map mods before we continue? Okay, extra fizz as fire, 3 additional chains. Oh god, 12% pen. Oh, I'm not sure if I will survive this. Honestly, this could be extremely difficult to survive. We will play it defensively, which means totems lead the way, and freezing pulse totems are just really good at freezing the map. Lots of porcupines, and with the added damage they have, they are extremely dangerous. We are using Steel Skin on automation support, so it is up more often than not. Gosh, dang it, these guys hit like trucks in here. And yeah, as well, right, the biggest problem for this build as well is fist damage. I need to do my grafts, I think, to cope with that a little bit better. It should be doable though. For the most part, ow, they hurt so much. Like, holy smokes. They really do hurt. I need the totems to protect me. I can see the boss room. And yeah, this is a bit wasteful, but I really only want to witness. I'm not. Oh god, no, not porcupines all over the place here. No. That's not what I want to see. Okay. I think we are good. Now, what you have to do with this build is take your Ice Spear and swap it in for boss fights. So let's actually put down a portal back here as well. Get our buddy back. Hello. And yeah, Cortex. An interesting fight, especially when witnessed with the Maven. This can get very, very difficult to deal with. But yeah, we have 5 Ice Spear totems up and running. We have our curses and we have our chill, and yep, that is the damage that this build deals. It is absolutely insane, and it's always very, very surprising to see just how brutally fast this can chunk through enemies, right? And yeah, this is how I dealt with the Maven, basically. Without this build, I am not sure if I would sit on 4 Void Stones right now. Probably would have managed to power through it with the self-cast Freezing Pulse build, but like, this just makes it so much more easy. Ow. And see, yeah, that's what I mean with the map rolls that you can't control. It's sometimes a bit much. Just need to focus up here, sorry, so I will be a little bit more quiet now. Probably throw around like an Arcanist brand or 2 at some point. Okay. Let's not stand in there and look at this, like, bam. It's 24% chill is quite a lot with this, and we will talk about why this is so important. But yeah, very good, very good. That is not the fight. Oh no, it is the fight, right? It's done. He is just retreating now. Do I remember this correctly? And you can, yeah, Steel Skin like 2000. Yeah. Okay, we got the We got the flask. What? Okay, wow. Okay, that is... Wow. Please be worth something still. Wow, that dropped to like 3 diff. Okay. That's okay, but yeah, this is what this does, right? It creates Consecrated Ground on use. It's a Sulfur Flask, so you get the 40% increased damage. Now, triple radius on Consecrated Ground that you'd make with this flask You have 10% increased damage taken applied to enemies during the effect, right? And you gain a huge amount of increased crit against enemies on consecrated ground during the effect. So yeah, this is a very cool flask that I have used in the past once, because I have dropped this in all my playtime once before. So I was not able to process this. Oh my god, okay, that's cool. I'll take it. I think I will just hold on to this. Although it is very, very tempting to try and sell it right now. Oh, wow, this is a max roll as well. Yeah, we need to... Okay, it's more like 5 to 6 diff, I guess? Holy smokes. Okay. Yeah, right. Now we see 10 diffs as well. Okay. That's more what I was remembering, right? So, we'll see. But let's list it for 10 diff. And that way, if it doesn't sell, we still have it, right? That's usually what I do. There we go. So, awesome. Yeah, as you saw there, Ice Spear Totems just completely annihilates bosses, which is something I love, as I said. And speaking of bosses, I have some lined up, right? So we have Elder, you have Shaper, you have Uber Elder lined up again. 3 Maven fights. I'm still holding on to those, just in case one of my friends needs another go at it. And yeah, they also dropped in price a little bit. And we do have a Cyrus ready as well. However, I will wait with that because, yeah, I need to get lucky to get a moment of reverence, just so I can witness that again. And that will mean we can do the Feared again. But yeah, I mean, we have a decent budget on the side here that we can think about what we want to do in the future. However, I will massively put down the brakes now. Like, I wasn't able to play as much this week as I wanted to because I love the game, but like, I just had other stuff going on as well, right? And that's fine. That's absolutely okay. However, in a couple of days, there will be a game release that I am looking forward to for a long time now. And I was kind of sad when I saw how early into the league it would come out. However, I want to check it out on release. And yeah, it's going to be the new Anno game. I just love that series. It's one of the series that got me into gaming, right? So I just have a very special place in my heart for it. And I want to play it and I want to have some fun with it as well. Not sure if we will do anything on the channel with it. We might do just a first look stream like we did with 1800. However, I really haven't decided yet. So yeah, let me know. Like, I will definitely post you some more update videos about this league. I'm also curious about the patch that they will release, right, with the changes that they want to do to the breach loot. So yeah, I'm kind of excited for that as well. So yeah, it's every time. At every given point, I guess, throughout league starts, there is always the option that so many other games drop, or that a new season or a new update comes out on Warframe, or which I haven't checked out yet. I need to get to that as well. So yeah, I'm juggling a lot of stuff that I want to do, and still, PoE is just on Steam pretty much my most played game. And that says a lot, right? It's over 1,000-hour difference to the next game, and I played that game for way longer in terms of how many years I've played it. But PoE is just such an amazing game, which is why I come back so often at league starts, right? Yes, I will skip the occasional league from time to time. However, it's just always great fun. So, right, moving forward, that means, do we have some upgrades to get for this build? Oh yeah, absolutely. There is Watcher size to get. There is also the better gear to get. And yeah, one of the reasons I mentioned, right? Chill, 24% chill. So that means we gain 24% of cold damage as extra fire damage. Cool, right? That's just straight up 25% of another element on top of our damage that we are already dealing. So very, very cool indeed. But yeah, that concludes like the league start in itself, right? As you can see, we have the Wild Atlas, we have all the Void Stones, we do have full map completion. Even the special ones that they don't tell you in the completion, where is it? We are sitting on 18 out of 40. Wow, what the fuck? Okay. That's cool. Oh, I didn't even check out the new boots. Hang on a minute. Okay. Right, not bad. Like, I kind of like them. Not gonna lie, they do look cool. We need the wasteland stuff back to complete our set, but yeah, okay, they look cool. Awesome. But yeah, there is one of the maps or two maps actually that are outside of your regular map completion, and I am just no longer sure. Oh, Remarkable Realms. Yes. So you have pretty much all the regular unique maps in here, and they do count towards your completion, right? Except for the Vinctar Square. That's the one where you can get all of the 4 different Agnaroth staffs and combine them or sell them together to get this map, as well as Doriani's Machinarium. God damn it, why are these names so difficult? But yeah, this is where you can choose between 3 options for your item. The one I got was basically trash. That's okay though, it's a very fun map to do. However, this is roughly like 2 divines, I think. So if you just want to run this for completion, probably not the best idea to trade for it. Yeah, 1.9 to 2-ish diffs. Yeah, it's still the same. I did buy it for 2 divine as well when I did it. So one thing that I would like to change about this whole thing here, the async trade, is amazing, by the way. I love it. I love it so much. It's so cool. And that you can't just go ahead and say, hey, I want instant buyouts only. Boom. Now you only have this button where you can just trade in their hideout. You just go to them, pick it out of their chest, and go back, which is amazing. However, once you clear your filters, this resets. Be wary of that. I would love to be able to say, hey, I want this as my default option, even if I press clear filters. But that's just me. So yeah, all in all, my experience with this trade, asynchronous trade, was amazing. When I am looking for items, I think it's pretty much the same experience as on the website. Yeah, the website can make it a bit easier sometimes, but it's really cool that we can search this in game now, and like it's really helpful. Honestly, it really is. And just being able to go to Faustus and say, hey, look, here's my tier 17s that I want to sell. Currently, I don't have any. Here's some bases that I want to sell, and I just have the unsorted tab in here. It's, you know, I did drop another Thread of Hope. This one with a small ring, though, and not that good. Yeah, the rules aren't that good. But like, just for me, it's so cool to have, okay, here's all the bases. Because what I used to do, right, is just have like, there you go. I had so many tabs in here, and I can use them for different things now if I want to. Or I can still use them for trading as much as I want, right? And the TBD tab now, this was basically a quad tab with just bases. I would just label this 25C a pop and throw every single base in here. So yeah, I can still do that if I want to, obviously. However, I really like that Faustus now has the shop in here. So yeah, Cool. Absolutely amazing. Love it. Yep. As I said, being so far with the completion and also being so far into the challenges already, that is kind of... That's really, really cool. I probably would love to get to 36 challenges done just to get the full armor set. That could be very amazing as well. I'll have to see if I can do this though. But yeah, that concludes my little update video, what I was up to this week throughout Path of Exile with the second build, as showcased here. I will pop a Path of Building into the description for this one. It's not gonna have a leveling tree, it's just going to be a snapshot of this build, because I don't have a good leveling tree. The way I leveled this build, I do not recommend to anyone. So yeah, if you want a more detailed leveling step-by-step thing, I think I would suggest you go to max roll and just level a how's it called again? Dang it. You just level one of these, the Templars, there we go. The Templar like that, and then choose your ascendancies a little bit differently. I guess just go for this in the first lab and do a spellcaster until second lab, until you have the +1 totem, as well as the Ancestral Bond node, and then you can switch over into totems, right? So yeah, that will be included, the snapshot of this build with the gear I'm currently using. Not recommending doing exactly what I've been doing here, keeping in mind over matter 60-40 split, right? And regular heat shiver is all you really need. This is quite a cheap unique at the moment, or most of the time actually. Let's quickly check. Right, 10C upwards. It's trending upwards now, so I guess get it while you can. Anathema at the moment, they went down pretty much to under 10C, which is very, very nice. Staff, you only need this 5 linked, which makes it a little bit better. However, the lower your roll gets, the more expensive this gets. Wow, they're up to 2 or 3 divines sometimes. I can't remember what I paid for mine, but it was definitely not that much. So I guess I just got lucky with the timing there. Alrighty, I will head out now. It's just turned 7 in the morning for me, and I'm off. I need to catch the train. And yeah, as I said, I will report back to you if I made some progress on these builds, or if I have leveled a third one. I don't know. I have to see what's going my way. One thing that I want to mention quickly, I'm still on my league starting Atlas 3. This is how this has evolved, and yeah, it's nothing special still. So I do have 2 skill trees to play around with and change up my mapping experience a little bit. Alrighty. Having said that, this is definitely it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice Sunday. And as always, take care. Bye.